Labour Party should not blame Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, but Atiku, whose greed denied them victory. I imagine. And who is saying this? Labour Party. That is what APC is saying, Abi. Osita Okechukwu. So the Labour Party should not blame Election Tribunal. Rather, they should blame Atiku, whose greed denied them victory. Look at what this Igbo man is talking about. APC. So because to them now, they are winning. To them now, APC is on top. Oh, wow, Sita Okechukwu. Quite unfortunate. One of the founding members of the ruling of Progressive Congress APC, Osita Okechukwu, has claimed that the People's Democratic Party PDP presidential candidate in the February 25 election, Atiku Abubakar, is responsible for the defeat of the Labour Party. Nigeria News reports that Okechukwu, while reacting to the outcome of the presidential election petition court judgment in an interview with journalists in Abuja, said as a Buharist who has experienced the pain of losing post-election litigation, he fully understands the grief of the PDP and Labour Party and APM. The APC chieftain said although the main opposition PDP had bright chances of bouncing back through the 2023 presidential election, the political greed of party's candidate Atiku denied the party victory and left a massive blow from which it might be difficult to recover. While sympathizing with PDP, Labour Party and APM, the petitioners, particularly supporters of the PDP, Okechukwu, said the Labour Party should not blame the petition court, but His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, whose hubris and greed combined to deny them victory. He also noted that Atiku's failure to play as a statesman by supporting his former running mate Peter Obi or any other Southern presidential candidate divided the opposition party. He dismissed claims by the petitioners that alleged irregularities in the conduct of the election, Tinubu's qualification, and the failure to transmit results in real time electronically were fatal to respondents' case. He said those intricate webs could have been resolved if Atiku had obeyed the zoning conventions, supported Peter Obi or any other certain presidential candidate. It could have been simply in all certain, but the wiki masquerade couldn't have emerged. That would have meant that the bulk of votes he garnered would have been credited to PDP. Atiku divided PDP's vote irreparably. All the votes Labour Party garnered were from the party's stronghold, minus voted warehoused by the former vice president, who naively forgot that Northern voters are one of the most sophisticated in the country, but believed that Northern electorate would behave like children in a dormitory waiting for directives on how to vote. Okechukwu, who is also a Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, DGVON, added that President Bola Tinubu deserves accolades for rescuing the zoning convention, which guarantees equality and natural justice between the North and the South. He stated, "First and foremost, let me congratulate President Tinubu for rescuing the zoning convention, a ligament binding North and South from unprecedented assault. To be honest, my take is that the opposition lost the election that day in 2022 when His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar trampled on the Presidential Zoning Convention, which governed the Fourth Republic in Nigeria and was also embedded in his party's constitution." So what Osita Okechukwu here is saying is that the only reason that both Labour Party and PDP are losing is because Atiku, because of his greed, did not obey the gentleman agreement between North and South. That is because Atiku was desperate to be president. We knew that Atiku, nobody wanted him because if Buhari had ruled for 8 years from the North, there's no way power should have gone back to the North again. It should go to the South. Okay? And going to the south, who should he go to? That is where the controversy is again in the south. Okay, so Atiku's greed is the reason why both PDP and Labour Party failed. That is what Osita Kachuku is saying here. And he's telling Labour Party not to blame APC or INEC or Election Tribunal, but rather they should blame PDP because of their greed. Actually, PDP is scattered because of that politics that Atiku played with Tambua and then pushed Peter Obi out, pushed Mwike out, pushed Kokanso out, okay? Because he was a Milican citizen of the North. He wanted to make sure he come in as president. He was desperate about it, but not knowing that it's not going to work for him that way. So when it comes to the South, okay, we're looking at Peter Obi and Tinubu. Peter Obi is actually the most eligible because Southeast has not gotten the opportunity to rule Nigeria before now. But unfortunately, the Fulanis, the Hausas, and the Yorubas have come together to say Igbos will never rule Nigeria, and Igbos will never be allowed to succeed in Nigeria. So how? You are talking about Nigerian unity, and you are marginalizing one section of the country, saying they cannot rule. Is that not slavery? That means you are forcing them into slavery. Is that allowed? It's not allowed. So, but again, secondly, Nigeria continue to dip down into abysm because of the kind of politicians we have ruling Nigeria. Look at the economy. Look at everything about Nigeria is decaying, both physically and spiritually. And some people, because their tribal sentiments or religious sentiments or political sentiment, party sentiment, they are not seeing anything wrong with the direction Nigeria is going. Quite unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. So Sita Kachuku is happy now, congratulating Tinubu for rescuing Nigeria on this North-South rotational agreement. That is Sita Kachuku's position. But that is not enough. The fact here remains that we have someone that has a lot of baggages that the Western world is going to blackmail so much and use him to loot Nigeria and the rest of Africa. They're going to use him to scatter ECOWAS. And that is not what we want. We're looking for a way to be free from bad politicians in Nigeria and also to be free from the influence of the Western world. Those are the two things that we need. And we need someone that can do that for us. And it's actually Peter Obi that should be able to do that for us. Unfortunately, the planting of Tinubu and all these corrupt and weak politicians or old people who actually can't control anything are the bane of Nigerian situation right now. Quite unfortunate as I speak. I've got a few comments here. Somebody said, God Almighty will remember you for saying the truth. That is, somebody's praying for Osita Okechukwu here for saying what he said. I just don't understand. Somebody says straight to the point, North and South should respect zoning, especially for the major political parties, for equity and even development. Okay? Democracy is respect for other people's values, rule of law, and sound economic development. So do we have all of this? We don't have rule of law. We don't have economic development in Nigeria, and we don't respect values in Nigeria. That is the truth. All of these things that these guys have mentioned, APC had destroyed all of them. We don't respect people's value in Nigeria anymore. We don't respect rule of law anymore. And that is why election that came out very violent, violated all the electoral act and the electoral laws of Nigeria, is upheld as the most legitimate. Quite unfortunate. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Another person say here, you don't know what you are saying. It is better Obi, okay? It is Peter Obi that lift PDP. Indigbo will never be president in this country. See, by ballot, unless his principal is there and he, being the vice, can hand over to him. A Yoruba man will never pick pick Indigbo as vice president. Indigbo will not pick Yoruba as vice president. The only hope for Indigbo is to be a vice president, and then another will never dare to be a vice president to Ndigbo. Can you imagine? Okay, thank you for playing God. So what are you saying now? I don't know. The Nigerian judiciary system is fraudulent, biased, bribery has destroyed the institution. Okay, we are at the mercy of Niger masses' expectations. They regard Niger masses to be mugu until the masses rise against the judiciary. Nothing will happen. That is it. I would rather blame Peter Obi, lawyer. We are coming up to the fact. What fact? Obi was not looking for anything. Okay, Tinubu planted him to disorganize PDP. I disagree with that. This guy genuinely wants to rescue Nigeria. Tinubu did not plant him there. So was Obi anywhere before now? He just robbed Atiku of a resounding victory. Yeah, they pushed him. Both Atiku and Wike pushed Peter Obi out of Labour Party because of their greed. That is it. If not, he was with the PDP and things were moving fine. Atiku equally robbed Obi of resounding victory. Very greedy man. I agree with that as well. It's quite unfortunate that we're in this mess. I don't know how Nigeria is going to be delivered or rescued from wicked and corrupt politicians. We are in for a long haul. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment even as we embark on self-deliverance.